Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String here again, at it again, once again. I hope you're all well. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this tutorial will be of some help with for you in some way. So today's tutorial, we are stringing a badminton racket, my bad. A few rackets already, and it's only not even 12 midday in London, UK time. Strung 3 or 4 or 5 rackets. Yes, Yonex badminton racket. It is the Astrox 100 ZZ, ZZ, if you'd like. Yeah, Yonex Astrox 100 ZZ badminton racket. Fantastic racket. Pretty straightforward in stringing terms as well. I've strung it plenty of times. This is a brand new frame, has been used just a few minutes, I believe. The client came for a restring last week. He wasn't familiar with the frame in itself, and he has a significant OCD on the tension spectrum of things, which is fine, as long as you don't ask me to do it for free, as long as you don't think that I've done a poor job. That's cool, which he was happy. He brought 3 rackets, super happy with the 2, but not knowing this frame, how it was going to play, he had never tried it before. So he therefore brought it back a few days later, asking for a higher tension. So we're going to string at 50, not 50, but that's what it's showing me from the last restring, which was a tennis racket. We are going to string the racket, this racket, at 26 pounds of tension. 26 pounds of tension. And this is how, you can unravel the string however you would like. However, if you just dump it on the floor or just let it go, it will cause you a slight headache. You might get lucky and it might not. Excuse me, bit of a cough. And if you're looking to save time, this is the safest way to unravel the string. I'm now going to count it, just checking my camera because it is awfully close to the racket. We could probably lift this up ever so slightly, couldn't we? Okay, we will. Let me know what you guys think of this angle. You can see now the tension head I have been stringing previously with the phone on vertical. I've changed it now for the last few restrings on horizontal. I think it looks okay. Let me know if you think otherwise. Really helpful to me as I'm quite new to this all. Videos on YouTube, which I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Anyway, cut myself a nice sharp edge to make the string pass through the grommets easier, and I'm going to do 13.5 measurements of the full length of the racket. Maybe you guys can see better from that angle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half, let's say. I'm going to have loads of string. There's still quite a bit left over. Once I go further down into the frame, I'll probably cut some more off because it's unnecessary, all that string. There are a couple stringing patterns out there that might require more string, therefore they come like that in a set. I believe 10 meter sets. Let's have a look. 10 meters. Yonex BG80 power in the color of orange. The client requested orange specifically. Also wants an orange grip, overgrip added to that. 0.68 millimeters of thickness, or gauge wise, also known as. So badminton rackets all start from the bottom because you have the shaft in the way. It's not like tennis or squash where it has more of a neck. Some squash rackets do, some don't actually. When I say neck of the racket, badminton, squash. This one, very similar to badminton in a way. The shaft, there's no neck. There are squash rackets that do have a neck. That one doesn't have one either. Most of them don't have a neck, I would say. However, there is one down here, which I can show you. Obviously all tennis rackets. I think there was one Prince racket that once upon a time got launched that didn't have a neck or a throat. There you have it. That's what it looks like. On a squash racket, it looks a bit like a tennis racket in a different shape. There you go. I'm going to find my end here, and 22 by 22 stringing pattern, 22 verticals by 22 horizontals, mains, also known as mains, and crosses. 22. I have my first two mains in already. Don't worry about this. I will pull that over shortly once I count my mains. So 11 to each side. I have one in, so 11 minus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check your grommets. Can cause breakage upon stringing. While stringing your racket, I'm going to leave myself a nice little piece here, so I have plenty to reach to my tension head. I strung a tennis racket, as mentioned just a moment ago, before this one. So there you have it. Clamp the string without touching any part of your fixtures or racket in itself. Hold the clamp upright so it doesn't fall. As soon as I let go, it will fall. However, there you have it. Okay, there should probably be a little gap here. You probably won't be able to see it. I'm just going to close the gap without applying pressure at all. Put your racket on the machine nice and loose. Make sure there's a little bit of a, you'll see other videos that I've made. I have not done it specifically on this one, but there should be some jingling space. If you grab the shaft of the racket, you should be able to jingle the racket around a little bit. Obviously don't get carried away, because then you risk breaking the racket. However, if you apply too much pressure to your knobs when putting the racket on the machine, you also risk the racket not coming off the machine or damaging the racket as well. I mean, the racket will always come off the machine, but you definitely know that you've tightened everything too much if you're having problems getting your racket off the machine. I've seen this a few times in the past. So as you can see, I just strung 3 to one side, and then now string another 3 to another side, and we carry on in exactly the same way until we get to 3, 6, 9 to each side, respectively 3 each side, 6 each side, 9 each side. And because there's 11 on each side, then it will only be 2 more to go, so then you have no choice but to do 2, 1 and 2. Very important, only pulling one string at a time. As you can see, I pull one string and I clamp one string. Don't try to get away with it. Your clients will know the difference, at least most of them will. So yes, try to be as professional as possible, even if it takes you a few more minutes. That is part of the game, so that's how it should be. But obviously when people go to string their rackets, whether it's theirs or a buddy's or a client's, do what you like. But that's just my own personal advice to you guys. So that's just our 5th main string on this side. I am stringing today on the Wilson Bayardo Original. Beautiful machine, hydraulics, etc. Has been the official machine on the professional tennis tour for many events for many years, and I believe it still is in some events, despite being, wow, how old is this machine? 10 years old? More? I'm not sure if they've done any upgrades. I did see at Roland Garros one year in a different color, in like an orange kind of clayish color, which is quite nice to see. Probably 30 of them in the stringing machine or so, 20 something maybe. As you can see, guys, I've gone to the other side because I have done 6 on that side. So I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. I'm stringing at a very normal pace for myself. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to, yeah, just stringing at a normal pace so you guys can kind of watch and see. Not taking my time, relatively speaking, just doing my thing. Not here to impress anybody. Hopefully these videos provide you guys with some additional information, or if you're starting out, some good info on how to start a racket, and so on and so on. So I use stringing aids. What are stringing aids? They're a small piece of plastic tennis string, which is polyester. I am going to pull this main string. You can see it, I don't know if you can see, but there is a hole here, which is my last cross. which we'll be doing in a little while, of course. I put the string in there nicely. Why? That way I have some space to groove my string, because it's very common in badminton, and sometimes because the holes are quite small, despite the string being very thin, so it can be a nightmare to get strings through sometimes. So that's a little tip. Try to take that on board if you're not doing it already. Some people might use a different kind of string. I find that these hold up quite well. I can reuse them all the time. I have, of course, plenty of recyclable string that, from cutting out strings or just leftover pieces from knots, but I just choose to reuse them. No issues. It does get to the point after I do maybe 20 or 30 restrings with the same little supports or stringing aids, and I just get rid of them and cut myself some more. Ooh. There we go. We need some more little aids, stringing aids. Young badminton. I have a call coming through, guys. I'm going to take this. Apologies, it is work-related stringing. Hi, James.
Hello. Hi.
How you doing? It's Ray. How you?
Hi. Good.
You're right.
I was just checking if the racket was ready.
Remind me which location you dropped off at?
Mayfair.
Mayfair. My colleague hasn't been yet. I'll find out an ETA shortly, and I'll let you know.
Oh, so it's not there yet?
Not yet. No. We normally drop off between 12 and 2 p.m. But I'll ask him to see what time his ETA will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, James. Speak shortly.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
A client trying to get their racket. Oh, I know who that was. That's the badminton ones. Yes, they were. I gave them to my colleague last night, and he will be dropping them off in a little while, I guess. I hope. Let's give him a text. Try to keep our clients as happy as possible. What's your ETA for Mayfair? We have a drop-off reception in Mayfair, London. Another one in Liverpool Street. We've got somebody texting us. Hey guys, trying to buy some Pentagon Pro, but being faced with an unable process payment. Can you help? Sufficient funds are... Someone trying to buy a reel of our Pro String Pentagon. And seems to have some issues on our website. I'll attempt, I've already texted him. I will follow up as soon as I finish this racket. I don't know if he's in London, if he wants to pick it up to one of our locations, or he's somewhere. He has got an English number, so that would suggest that he is in the UK. Okay guys, I have a little bit of a... I've got the clamp in the way. I haven't put it all that close, but the way the string has positioned its stuff there. Anyway, 15% additional tightness, let's say, on your last main string. Every time you are going to tie a knot, when it's a finishing knot, not a starting knot, it's unnecessary on a starting knot to up the tension, as there won't be any tension loss on that knot, but on your finishing knots there will be. As you'll probably see in a moment when I release my base clamp, the base of the clamp, or clamp base, come on. I might need to sharpen up my edge. Nope, still went through. Right, Parnell knot. I'm tying my knot on my 1, 2, it's on the 8th, but I count this through it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The nearest hole that allows me to share the hole with a vertical string, and therefore use it as an anchor string to tie my knot. By the way, FYI, pull very softly, firstly, and then I'll go back to what I was trying to say. Don't pull hard on the knot, guys. You can damage the knot, the anchor string in itself, I've done it before when I started out many years ago with badminton rackets. But as you're going to see now, the movement, there is no lag here. I've tightened it as much as I can without doing any damage. You'll see now, you see how the clamp moved? And that's where our tension loss is. It's very hard to avoid. It's unavoidable, in fact. So it's recommended to put your tension up to 15 or 20% of whatever tension you are using. Don't worry, it's completely safe. You know, you're not applying that tension into the racket fully. Again, just that one string where it will lose tension anyway. As you saw, my clamp moved a little bit. The last main, my other side, and in total. However, there's no need, I'm not tying a knot, I'm doing a two-piece one-piece stringing job here, 2 knots. I've already tied my first knot on this side here, knots just there. My first cross weave. Badminton rackets, guys, always remember, must string bottom to top. It's not like tennis or squash where you can get away with that. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Let's try to, actually it looks quite good though. But okay, look, let's do that. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's see how that all looks later. Just playing around with a few different things, trying to make everything the best I can. Let me just have a look again. When I move everything around, it looks pretty, okay, cool. That looks good. Probably should have zoomed in on some of my other videos as well, but anyway. I'll be doing plenty. If I can make them better, I will. I always have massive amount of rackets coming through, so there's never a lack of not having enough rackets or different models. Again, so I'm struggling to get the string through, even with a nice sharp end, but I'm going to use my awl just to assist me a little bit. I'm going to turn my hand a little bit. As you can see, the awl's gone through nicely. No damage done there. Just be careful though. Just be careful. If you're not confident with the awl, don't use it. If you use it and you're not confident, get ready to restart and lose money on string. Whether it's for your own racket or clients, then yeah, if it's for a client, it's always going to be worse. If you don't have backup stock of what they've brought you or backup stock of what you are offering. Remember weaving, I was going to say grooving, but I guess you could use grooving. Weaving the string always opposite, always opposite to your, in this case would be my bottom string. So as you can see, I'm weaving 3 strings. Yes, I am. Why? It just makes, well, I've already tightened the knot, so that's why I normally don't tighten the knot until I've made my 3rd weave. As you can see now, I'm having to use the awl. That's okay, no dramas. But there are some different models out there that it really makes it difficult once you tie your first finishing knot on your vertical string. It can make life quite miserable at times. So that's what I do. I just pull 3 through and normally then tie my knot. I'll make the knot, but I won't tighten it. But talking with this video, etc., I've just got myself a tiny bit sidetracked there. Don't have to do it that way. You could do it exactly how I just did it now without the 3rd string. I just find it much easier to weave. There's lots of hole covering here. So if the tension's quite high sometimes, it can be beneficial just to weave 3 through and then tighten your knot. But again, I got a little bit sidetracked with the talking. And here is another shared hole. Hopefully it's kind to us because I don't like the angle it's on. Oh, that was easy. And when I say the angle it's on, if I have any troubles here, ouch, if I have any troubles here, using the awl can be a bit of a nightmare, or actually not even an option because of the head mounting supports. But anyway, using the awl, try to stay away from it. despite being quite a new racket, only strung once before. Grommets are being quite friendly to me for now. The share hold sometimes can be a nightmare, but if you give yourself a nice sharp angle, it should be okay 95% of the time. But there might be another 5, maybe 10% where it won't be, especially if you're using a thick badminton string. Yonex BG65 is the thickest that I use normally. There are thicker out there. Unnecessary to use a thicker badminton string more than 0.70, as is the Yonex BG65. Yonex BG80, this string here that you have. So guys, forgot to say as well, I should have done this a moment ago. I might actually go back and just re-pull this one, despite not having done the other 3. Yonex always recommends doing half a pound more on their badminton rackets. There you go, I've upped my tension half a pound, which will probably be like 0.2 or 3 of a kilo, just in order to keep their isometric shape. I would say Yonex is probably the leading racket manufacturer, at least in Europe, in sales. I see mainly Yonex rackets. Next in line would probably be Li-Ning, however that's pronounced, sorry, I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Li-Ning, Yonex, what else is out there? I happened to do a Mizuno the other day, which is very uncommon out here to see. There's another one out there, Ashaway, I believe. Who else makes badminton rackets? Babolat, but Yonex is by far the most popular. No, not a shadow of a doubt. Don't think Wilson makes badminton rackets. I don't think Dunlop do either. Maybe Dunlop do. So always stringing one ahead, or one in front, I guess you could also say. So you've got that one string, which I push upwards, as you see, against the next, against the last cross. That way when I pull the string, it's already in position to ready to go, and then I will use my left hand, or right hand, normally left I think, if I'm not mistaken, to hold the string in place to keep it straight. I don't want all my strings to finish like that, because then afterwards, I'll have to straighten them, and what happens when we straighten our cross strings? They lose tension. So, trying to avoid losing tension at all costs in every way possible. I'm going to check and see this client, make sure he's okay. West Hampstead. So he is in London. West Hampstead. How far is that from Mass? That is 6 miles, 6.4 miles. I'll just let him know that you want it shipped to you, or collect from one of our locations. I need to check my website and see what's going on, why he's not able to purchase the string. Okay, string is being a bit stubborn. That's surely because the edge is a little bit tired now. Cut myself a nice sharp angle again, and it should, there you go. Quite important, I would think, when it comes to stringing any type of racket, but especially badminton. String is very, very soft. It bends with nothing, and you're going through a very small hole, as the grommets are on badminton rackets. midday in London, UK, where I'm currently in West London, Acton, in my house where I have one of my workshops. I've got rackets all over the place. I also shrink, so despite having 5 drop-off receptions, of which 3 are receptions in the city or West End, one in Mayfair, one in the city near Liverpool Street, and then another in Fulham. And then, of course, our workshops as well, drop-off points, Hammersmith and Acton. We are the official stringer for Duke's Meadows. They have a really nice tennis centre. They are the regional centre for West London. So if you're a junior that hits a good ball, or anybody that's quite competitive, they tend to do a good job there. Beautiful courts. They just refurbished their indoor courts. It used to be a bubble, now they have a fixture. So it's all really, really nice. Did a good job. They got five or six Poraflex courts were just superb. It's like playing on they're classed as hard courts, I guess, but they're anything but hard. Right, looks like I've got myself a dull angle. Trying to avoid using that all. Come on. Yeah. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. My wife is calling me up, calling me down. Someone needs to go pick up my son from nursery or kindergarten. Oh, that went through nice and easy. Wow. So the other side was not having it. And then the opposite side was nice and easy. I'm using the awl, just pushing the string down ever so slightly. That down as well. Be careful using the awl. They can be evil things, but also at the same time very helpful. Again, I try not to use them. Try not to use it. We're not far from the finish now, guys. I think I have 3 more crosses now. Well guys, I hope there was some useful information here. I'm not saying bye just yet, but we have another stubborn edge. You can just see how useful the cutting of the edge is, because every time I do cut it, it does go through very nicely afterwards. 2 more crosses. I find that some of the Astrox, it can be a struggle on my last cross, sheerly because it is quite high up, and my clamps, I mean, I wouldn't say they're bulky, but from time to time, well, certain Astrox versions, I have to actually change the way I do my last string. I have to do my let's see, I'm going to have a look now. That might be the case now. I wouldn't be surprised if other stringers have an issue with that on these kind of better machines. I can't imagine what stringing a badminton racket like with flying clamps would be. Ugh, what a nightmare. I'll know in a moment if this is going to work or not. My edge is gone fluffy again. So you'll see what I mean in a moment. So you see this main is going here, and I have that much space to fit that clamp in. And I've done it plenty of times where I've pushed the string slightly to the side, and I've popped the string when racket is pretty much already done. But I'll know roughly now. See, I can look at it here and I think I'm going to be okay. And this one will tell me, I can normally see how much space I have here on my last clamp there. Let's see. The last thing, or the worst case, is that I go back down, let's see, my edges literally, you can see, maybe you can't see, but just put it on a color so you guys see. It fluffs up a little bit, such a thin string. Right, it doesn't want to go through despite having the, oh, it's gone through. Despite having, but that's with the support, those little aids, these little green pieces of plastic that I'm using. Right, last cross, up to the tension, 15 to 20%. And I think I should have, there you go, that fit really well. There's a few different Astrox, I forget which ones they are. The Pro Game, or the 88D Pro Game, or that one I think has two different stringing patterns. The strings, those type of rackets with more crosses, I think, or one or less more, I can't remember which one it is. Can give me sometimes some issues for the lack of spacing. I'm done tying it up. I'm tying it up. You want me to go? I'll go. It just takes me 5 minutes on the scooter each way. And he likes it, huh?
Okay, if you can go. Just really weak.
Hey guys, family has entered the dungeon. My little 19-month-old, 20, 19, 20. Start losing track when they get closer to. Olivia, say hi. Come. Here. Come. Ooh, the stickers. Say hi to the camera. Here. Here. Say hi. Hi. No? She's like, who am I saying hi to? She's looking around thinking, you're nuts. Maybe I am. Right guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully some valuable information for you there. I'm going to take out my little stringing aids or supports before I turn the camera off, just so you can see. That's done. Alright guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Have a good one and happy stringing. Any comments or questions or anything like that, you can put in the comment box, of course. Any advice that you can give me as well, always willing to learn. And there you have it for now. The Yonex Astrox 100 ZZ, strung at 26 by 26.5, with Yonex BG80 power in color of orange as requested by the client. Alright guys, take care, happy stringing, bye bye.